Hey, what's going on YouTube? Lionel here. I have a special sort of first impressions, first of two special impressions. The next one I'll probably do tomorrow if I have time, but I'll definitely do it before the weekend is over. Um, so shout out to you, Prince Nassim. You know what you did. I'll definitely do a video for you. This video is in relation to Robert Elder. Now, I, I know there's been, he's around. You may have not subscribed to him. Um, I don't think he entered Fragrance Idol or anything, but he is using YouTube as a channel to communicate some of his fragrances. So he's Robert Elder is an independent perfume. He's doing his own thing, um, and I'll tell you this: the man has a special gift, a knack for this. Now, understand that some people are kind of caught up in who the who's who you know, it's like anything else. I'll give you an example. Um, I've been to bands. I've been to concerts with bands that are just unknown, and my gosh, they were just wonderful. Their performance was precise. Vocals were nice. Um, 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 their arrangement is nice. I mean, they put on a show, right? Um, but because they're not as popular, because they don't get as much radio play, those venues uh, really don't get, those artists and venues really don't get what they deserve, right? Um, um, you know, or they're not the who's who of whatever, so they don't get really recognized, right? Um, I've seen guys, I'm a music fan, and I've seen guys, put out albums that were just terrible, and you're just like they sold strictly out their name. I'll put Lil Wayne out there for instance, versus hearing some guys out there that are just dropping music that is just outrageous, man. Like Scott Zoo and those guys, Planet Asia, and because they're not popular, because they're not major airplay, then these guys don't get recognized. And other things, books and clothing. So I say that to say this. Um, I don't think Robert Elder has any formal uh, perfume training, so to say. I think he's just strictly a guy who who set out on a venture and sort of done very well, much in the same vein of kerosene. Um, so, um, when we go to kerosene, he caught a lot of, he caught a little flack. Who is this guy? How is he making perfumes? Yada yada yada. Which house did he work for? No, listen, you don't need any of that stuff. Ultimately, the job is to put out a fragrance or to put out a product that is good. Me personally, as a consumer, I want something that's good, that's durable, that's functional. Whatever. And I don't care who makes it. I'm not a big name guy. I just want something that's good. Kerosene has done an absolutely tremendous job. I mean, I remember when he first came out, a lot of people were saying, this and that, or it's just because he's in a perfume, he's in the YouTube community. Okay, well, now he's in the New York Times, or now he's, recognized almost nationally now. I mean, outside, I mean, not even nationally, even globally. There are people in France and Germany who are recognizing Kerosene's talents. I said YouTube, who had the first stab at it, almost giggled at him, right? Almost laughed. Um, but they recognized his talent. And things change, things evolve. You don't need that type of formal training. You just have to have a good nose. So I say all that to say, I preface, what I'm about to talk about with that because Robert Elder is a guy who's not going to be nationally recognized, right? He may not ever get a lot of YouTube love, but I'll tell you this: I will put his fragrances up against anybody's fragrance. I will put his Coffee Royal up against New Harlem, and I actually would argue that Coffee Royal. Now I don't know what the EDP is going to look like because he sent me more of a pure oil format or an oily format, um, but that fragrance is tremendous. I mean, it is a wonderful, wonderful fragrance. And I would put it tit for tat with any other coffee fragrance. I mean, it obliterates pure coffee. I mean, it makes pure coffee look like my coffee in my machine. And like if I just boil, I'll just go brew something in my my brew station and rub it on my skin. That's what pure coffee compares to Coffee Royal by Robert Elder. Now he has three new fragrances, or three fragrances. I don't know if they're new to him, but they're new to me. I'm just being introduced to this. He sent me, and the numbers are 4, 5, and 18. Let me start. I'm gonna start from my least favorite to my most favorite, and I'm gonna tell you this: all three of these fragrances could be someone's best fragrance. I think somebody smelling these will love one more than the other. Let me start with number 4. Number 4 is a vetiver sandal. The notes here. So he sent me these, with the notes in it. So it's vetiver, sandalwood, grass, magnolia, violet, blackberry, and anise star, or anise star. Um, I don't know top, mid, bottom. So I'm not gonna try to argue that, but I'll tell you what I smell. So number 4 is here. You get star anise. I've had this on for about 40 minutes now. So um, my initial blast was this outrageously green grass. I mean, it's like grassy grass green, like the best grass you would ever smell green. Um, and then this vetiver creeps in, and then there's this sweetness given by the blackberry, and then there's this anise star, kind of almost giving it this spicy, darker quality, right? So it's this sort of fresh green scent accompanied by his fragrance. You know what, man? If I was his perfume, I mean, if I was to name his perfumes, I would call him Yin Yang, right? Because that's what you get. You get this. You almost get this complementary contradiction, right? If I was to say anything about Robert Elder's fragrances, is that they're contradictory notes, right? When you think about them, they're very unusual, very uncommon, not normally put together, but they complement each other so well the way he blends them that it just makes this fragrance that's just unique. So if you're looking for something for the spring, right? Early spring, maybe late spring, maybe you can even go summer because this one is the lightest of the three on my skin. Um, this would be a perfect fragrance. If you're a fan of vetiver, you may like it, but it's not a vetiver bite. So if you don't like vetiver, I think you would like it also. What gives it this uniqueness is this green grass and this violet. So that's what else is in there. This sweet violet, almost this was in Creed's Love in Black. It's sort of that type of sweet, uh, vibrant type of violet with this star anise, but then there's this grass and this vetiver giving it this uncanny type freshness. It is very nice, and I really really like it. I'm already at 8 minutes, so let me push through these. It is very nice. Uh, my least favorite of the three he said, of the four he said, this is my least favorite, just because the sound was a bit stronger in this one, but it's not bad. So I may look at splitting this fragrance once he offers it, because I would like to have about 10 to 20 mils of this because it's such a unique fragrance. Very nice. Again, the notes that I get out of this is that grass, violet, and then there's the sweetness given by the blackberry, this dark, dark kind of sweetness given by the anise star, and then there's this vetiver note, just kind of giving it this freshness with this grass. Very very nice fragrance. Um, Next is number 18. Number 18 is here. Number 18 is very very nice. The notes are patchouli, leather, vetiver, grass, jasmine, rose, blackberry, frangipani. I have no clue what that is, Robert. Tonka, vanilla, and amber. What I'm getting on my skin is a nice amber. The patchouli is very light, so if you don't like patchouli, you don't have to worry about it here. There's this sweet leather, it's almost similar to the leather that I get in whips and roses. It's sort of it's not a dank leather, animalic leather, not a animalistic leather. It is a more of a smooth, refined leather couch, leather jacket type leather. And there's this jasmine in there, and then there's this blackberry. So this blackberry note on this one is the most dominant on my skin. It's very nice. There's some sweetness, so maybe some vanilla and the tonka giving it a bit more of a sweetness. Definitely getting some of the jasmine, but I'm really getting this blackberry and leather, a slight hint of patchouli there. I don't really sense the grass compared to the grass in number four. Um, it's just sweetness, leather, bit of patchouli. Sort of reminds me of a sweetened up 1740 from Historia de Perfumes. Not as heavy as 1740. Again, this is another one I think can be pulled off. It's a lot more versatile than 1740. I wouldn't dare wear 1740 in the warmer weather, but this one I think you can pull off. Maybe there's some. I'm getting amber, leather, sweetness from the blackberry. This is the most prominent blackberry between the two. Little leather. So that's what I'm getting here. I like this one a lot too. Um, my phone is ringing. Um, I'll get that one later. Finally, my most favorite is number five. Number five is here, and it is the most prominent of them. And actually, the sandalwood is in there, but it's blended so well with the tobacco and the leather in this note that I that it gives it more of a creamy vibe than a smell. Right? If you can understand what I'm saying, I don't really smell the sandalwood. I sense the sandalwood. Um, and then it opened up with this lemon and burnt like this citrus, right? This sweet sort of citrus, and then this tobacco, leather, sandalwood. They just all kind of hit, and it's so unique. Again, this fragrance is so unique. There's a little jasmine in there, but I'm getting some of the florals. I'm getting some of the white floral in there, but it's a tobacco, leather, and sandalwood. And I think he was right. He told me, I said that I didn't like Santanium slivers because of the sandalwood. And he told me to try the sandalwood in this one. And I would be honest to tell you, I adore the sandalwood in this fragrance. That's the truth. I like this one the most. Um, Tobacco, leather, sandalwood. This is a heavier and a darker fragrance, more of my speed. He doesn't have there has this sense of amber in there. It's not in there in the note breakdown, but maybe it's just a combination of notes. Anyway, 15.5 is my favorite. I think I think 18 would probably be the most universally appealing. I think 4 could be a really good sleeper fragrance. Number 4 would probably be the Tabaron Millesime of Creed. I mean, very understated, very nice, very classy. This was sort of my classic. This is my sycamore type scent, gray vetiver type scent. And then number 5 is my sexy scent. I mean, that would be my scent that would be my statement scent. So overall, Robert, here's my honest assessment. If I was to rate these out of 5, I would give number 5. I would give the highest rating of about a 4.75. I would give 18. I would give that maybe about a 4.3, 4.2, and I would give number 4, no pun intended, a 4. So those are my perspectives. Each one of these would definitely be bottle worthy. I can't wait till you release these fragrances. Uh, don't listen to the naysayers. Don't doubt yourself, Robert. You have a very special nose. This yin yang or this complementary contradiction that you're pulling off with these fragrances, like with Coffee Royal and these three, man, are tremendous. I think um, I think you could really set a trend in the perfume world with what you're pulling off here. So those are my perspectives. My honest, I'm not getting anything out of this from Robert. I don't want anything. I really appreciate what he's done. The courage to step out there takes a lot, and these fragrances are tremendous. The quality and the notes, and you can, I mean, it's a, it will, I mean, your nose will appreciate you for putting for getting these underneath it. So that's my perspective. I appreciate you guys. Peace.